Good evening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are gathered here to remember Mr Othman Wok, a founding father of Singapore and a pioneer leader of the Malay community. Sadly, he left us earlier this week. In this moment of grief, we offer comfort to his family and loved ones. For as long as I've known Mr Othman, he has never wavered from his commitment to multiracialism for Singapore. In my interactions with him over the years, he always sought to impress upon me the need to build a strong and cohesive society. I've always wondered what made him such an ardent believer and a champion of multiracialism. Reflecting on this over the past couple of days, I think the answer lies in his life journey. An ordinary clerk thrust into public life, he had to confront difficult choices. He was a product of the tumultuous times when post-war nation-states had to forge their own national identities amidst their newfound independence. Mr Othman was then confronted with a choice. He could have been part of a society where he would be comfortable as part of the privileged majority, never mind that the minorities would feel less than welcome. Or he could choose to be part of a new nation, founded on the principles of multiracialism, where everyone will have equal opportunities to succeed. Mr Othman had already made that choice when he joined the PAP in 1954. In the intervening years, prior to Singapore's independence in 1965, he kept his faith with the PAP model of how a diverse society should be organized. We all know the early years were fraught with difficulties and uncertainties. Economic survival, racial riots, chauvinistic elements pulling constantly at the hearts and minds of our Malay community. Despite these challenges, he soldiered on with other founding fathers to lay the foundations for a modern Singapore, not just for a prosperous country, but for a cohesive nation, strong and united despite our differences. For this act of courage on his part and others, we will always owe a debt of gratitude, one that can only be repaid by ensuring those values they held dear, values such as mutual respect and trust, continue to flourish forever. Mr Othman's spirit of multiracialism was broad and expansive, as he saw in it the foundation of a cohesive nation. In everything he did, be it sports, culture, or Muslim affairs, Mr Othman strove to unite the country, forge our national identity, and inspire the Singapore spirit. For example, he always believed that sports was a powerful unifying force because the collective experience of cheering our sporting heroes nurtures a deep love for the nation, one that transcends race, language, and religion. I can only imagine Mr Othman's satisfaction when he saw Singaporeans cheering on Team Singapore as one during the Olympics and Paralympics last year, and the SEA Games and the ASEAN Para Games the year before. I'm glad we did him proud. But for me personally, the one endearing legacy that resonates most is his ability to balance his role as a national leader and as a community leader. He moved effortlessly from one role to the other. He knew the needs of the community well, but he also understood what it needed to thrive in multiracial, multicultural, and multireligious Singapore. He always did what he thought was right for Singapore and the community, but he never insisted he was always right. He was always listening and learning from others. His introduction of the Administration of Muslim Law Act, or AMLA, in 1966 reflected this wisdom and has enabled Singaporeans Muslim to fulfill their religious obligations in a secular state and multiracial society. Mr Othman's ethos of multiracialism is ever more important today. At a time when extreme ideologies are being peddled on many fronts, the need for courageous souls like him to speak up for diversity and respect for differences is ever more crucial. And the battle for respect, trust, and mutual understanding is won and will always be won when men like Othman Wok fight with sheer passion and conviction against any forces that seek to divide us. And men like him stand their ground, not by violent means, but with a spirit of empathy and respect for their fellow men. They will forever be our models and beacons for a better future. So the mission he and others started has come a very long way. But in new times come new challenges. We have a modern Singapore and a progressive Muslim community today, but it does not take much to unravel this. We must never allow this to happen. Encik Osman may have left us, but we must always remember that he has left his legacy about what this nation, our Singapore, stands for: courage, conviction, and a deep-seated commitment to the ideal of multiracialism. The Singapore spirit shines brightly today because of this, and we are a stronger and a more united people. Allow me now to continue in Malay. Saudara-saudara sekalian, pemergian Allahyarham Encik Othman Wok adalah satu kehilangan besar yang sangat dirasakan kita semua. Semasa hayatnya, Encik Osman telah banyak berkorban demi masyarakat dan negara. Beliau antara 10 pemimpin perintis yang menandatangani Perjanjian Kemerdekaan Singapura, dan bersama para pemimpin perintis lain, mereka mengalas tanggungjawab berat dengan sukarela dan penuh berani. Sumbangan besar beliau sangat dihargai. Contohnya, sewaktu acara meraihkan hari lahir Encik Lee Kuan Yew yang ke-75, Encik Lee sendiri sebab mengenang jasa Encik Osman. Keberanian, kesetiaan, dan kepimpinan beliau yang tidak berbelah bagi semasa Singapura melalui masa-masa sukar adalah luar biasa. Pendirian tegas beliau memastikan bahawa tidak seorang pun pemimpin Melayu PAP gentar ketika kita sebahagian dari Malaysia. Ini telah menentukan hala tuju Singapura. Sepanjang kerjaya politiknya selaku Menteri Ehwal Kemasyarakatan dan Menteri Kebudayaan, Encik Osman kerap menekankan betapa pentingnya keharmonian berbilang kaum. Sumbangannya untuk menyemai semangat nasionalisme terselah melalui usahanya untuk memupuk bakat kesenian, kesukanan, dan sifat keihsanan di kalangan rakyat Singapura. Bagi saya secara pribadi sebagai anggota masyarakat Melayu Islam dan menteri bertanggungjawab bagi ehwal masyarakat Islam, antara warisan terbesar beliau ialah sumbangannya kepada masyarakat kita. Penubuhan Akta Pentadbiran Undang-Undang Islam atau AMLA mencerminkan kebolehannya untuk berpandang jauh serta keikhlasannya bagi memastikan kebajikan masyarakat Melayu Islam terpelihara sehingga hari ini. Ini juga mencerminkan tekad beliau untuk memakmurkan kehidupan beragama masyarakat Islam kita sesuai dengan konteks berbilang kaum Singapura. Hakikatnya, ramai yang berasa sangsi dengan fungsi dan peranan AMLA. Namun, Encik Osman serta Pegawai Negara Pertama Singapura, Encik Yaacob Ibrahim, terus berusaha sehinggalah tertubuhnya 3 institusi Islam penting yang kita warisi dan hargai hari ini, iaitu Majlis Ugama Islam Singapura atau MUIS, Pejabat Pendaftar Pernikahan Orang Islam, dan Mahkamah Syariah. Ternyata perjuangan Encik Osman dan pemimpin awal masyarakat adalah tepat dalam memastikan kehidupan beragama masyarakat Melayu Islam terpelihara dan maju seiring arus perpenadan. Encik Osman membangkitkan semangat tidak mahu kalah di kalangan masyarakat Melayu yang hidup di negara yang berubah deras dan pantas. Beliau gigih melawan arus gelombang yang mencanangkan perbezaan dan dengan tegas menyatakan bahawa semua warga Singapura adalah setara, tidak kira bangsa atau agama. Pada tahun 1977, ketika pembukaan Masjid Muhajirin, masjid pertama dibina di bawah dana pembinaan masjid, beliau berucap tentang cabaran dan perubahan yang bakal dihadapi masyarakat. Ternyata Allahyarham seorang yang berpandangan jauh dan prihatin dengan masa depan masyarakat Melayu Islam. Saudara-saudara sekalian, seorang sastrawan pernah menulis bahawa bakti itu dicurahkan kepada sesiapa yang melintas sempadan, Tiada peduli hina mulia dan ukuran bikinan, tiada peduli kepada siapa harus diberi, tidak kira kepada siapa harus menerima. Kini izinkan saya menutup ucapan dalam bahasa Inggeris. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, Mr Othman Wok's dedication to Singapore and the Malay Muslim community is an inspiration to us all. Mr Othman's proudest legacy is a harmonious, multiracial Singapore society. As Singaporeans, we honor him best when we strive onward together, always as one united people. My deepest condolences once again to Puan Lina Abdullah and your family for your loss. Our thoughts and prayers are with you during these difficult times. Singapore has indeed lost an illustrious son. May the Almighty accept his deeds and place him among his beloved. Thank you.